More indeed on the latest twists in the saga, claims about his relationships with women coming out on a almost daily basis, it seems, and proving costly, not just for his family life, but for his future earning power as well. Now, the world's #1 golfer making a massive $110 million between 2008 and 9. Indeed, he's the first athlete to make $1 billion as the world's highest earning sports star. But things not looking quite so healthy this weekend. One of the major sponsors, Gillette, announcing it's limiting his role in marketing campaigns. Others, such as AT&T, say they are reviewing the position. Gatorade has dropped one of his products too. Branding expert Jonathan Gabay joins us now. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Is this a busted flush?
It is, in a way, a busted flush. What I'm concerned about, I was listening to what Max Clifford was saying about this, actually, and I think what everyone is saying, what a lot of the brands are saying, is that we're not going to fully withdraw our support, because it sounds to me like they're hedging their bets a bit. They're going to wait to see what happens in terms of public opinion. But what I'm more concerned about is it also doesn't give a very good message in terms of a role model from the point of view of treatment of women as well.
Is that the problem, that Team Tiger are dealing not just with a sporting superstar, but it was the whole image, this wholesome family man, there's no whiff of scandal, that he was clean living. That now completely turned on its head.
Okay, there's two ways of looking at it. There's the classic way from a public relations point of view of looking at it, and that is he should have said something about this earlier in terms of admission, because admission is the first step towards recovery, if you see what I mean. And so now that he has said something, that means that people can say, okay, this guy is going to do his best to resolve his issues, and indeed Gillette and many others in terms of brands are saying, okay, we're going to give him this time to actually sort things out in terms of his family. So he's putting his family first, and that's great in terms of priorities. However, the issue is, I still feel there's an issue from the women's point of view, from the ladies' point of view.
This is a dreadful question to ask, but does that actually matter in terms of golf? Because Gillette clearly are hedging their bets. Nike say, yeah, we're sticking by him.
But they would say they were sticking by him because his brand for Nike is worth in the hundreds of millions. So that is, they would actually say they were sticking by him. They are hedging their bets.
How many women buy Nike products in terms of golfing equipment, golfing shoes?
How many women buy razors for their husbands? You see, this is from the allegations point of view. Yeah, it's given him 6 of the best that a man can get in terms of swinging golf clubs and things like that. We've got to see what happens next.
The other aspect of this, and we spoke to a golfing writer yesterday, is that golf is a very conservative world with a small c in terms of behaviour, rules, regulations, correct dress on the fairway and so on. They are going to look perhaps very unkindly on this kind of public behaviour.
Especially in America, by the way.
Yeah, indeed.
Especially in America, where, as you say, with a small c, it is very conservative. And in these days of recession, let's not kid ourselves about that, in these days of recessions, brands have to be seen to be being aligned with the right type of celebrity.
And sensitive to what's happening around them.
Oh, absolutely. So we have to wait to see what happens next. As I said, I believe that they're hedging their bets.
What would you advise? I mean, we asked Max clearly what should happen. Should there be a mea culpa on Oprah where you admit your guilt and say, very sorry, I'm going to a sex therapist and so on? I mean, from a commercial point of view, is that really what should be...
Potentially, Max, I totally agree with Max. Potentially, that is the absolute classic way of doing it. I am wrong, I want to admit that I'm wrong, and so I might go on to Oprah and I might actually turn this around. And in fact, here's another way of looking at it. In fact, if he's able to turn it around, show once again that he is the master of golf, which he definitely is, go on to Oprah, do stuff like that, he might actually be a greater brand asset than ever. I'm talking about way down the line. But he may actually turn the whole thing around. Well, because this is a man who said, I am wrong, and you out there shouldn't do wrong as well.
And say he takes 2 years out. Can you imagine the interest when he's back on the golf course? How many people will want to see that when he's back on the fairway? I mean, I guess there is added value in that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the thing is if you even look at his website, prior to all this happening, he had 11,000 people who were looking at the website. Just 1 week after, he had 488,000 people who were looking at the website. So from a point of view of the website, it's doing quite well.
There ain't such a thing as bad publicity.
Absolutely.
Jonathan, thank you for your time this morning. Thanks for joining us. Well, that is one of our top stories.